Hello, in this video we're going to show you how easy it is to take 2D data from an existing DWG or DXF file, bring it into Inventor, create a 3D model, then some 2D drawings, and then put them back into your original drawing if you wish. So it's a complete round trip. First thing we're going to do then is open up some 2D data, and here you can see I've got just a standard DWG drawing from AutoCAD. I can open that up directly in Inventor, and there we have the drawing. Very simple case now of simply selecting the geometry we want, deselecting the bits we don't want, so we don't want these highlight areas here, and quite simply copy the data, just standard Windows command there. We can then create a new part, paste our geometry in. You could use Control-C, Control-V as you would with any Windows package. Once that's come in, Inventor has brought all the data through there. It's also added some intelligence into the drawing. For example, these dimensions that were just standard AutoCAD dimensions are now full parametric dimensions. So for example, if I change this 2mm dimension to 4mm, the gap between the two vertical lines here, you'll notice, actually increases. So your model is full parametric constraints there. To create some 3D geometry from this, we're simply going to finish our sketch and then use some of the tools that come with Inventor, which is our 2D to 3D tools. And all we have to do is say we want to place a base view on the top of this block, like so. And then we need an auxiliary view or a projected view, which is going to be the side. This is the other sketch. Again, OK to that. And it aligns both the sketches on our little box automatically. What we can then do is simply come to our standard modeling menu and just say we want to extrude. First of all, the top profile. So we're just going to select the areas there. Distance I'm not too worried about, so I'm just going to drag it somewhere around there. Again, we don't have to be accurate at all with this. Say OK, and we've got the first part of our 3D model. To do the intersection, again we simply select the other profile and say we want to create an intersect that goes all the way through our first object. Say OK, and there we have our 3D model. We can rotate that around, have a look at that from any angle that we want. We can also add some features on here if we want now, because it is just a standard Inventor model now. For example, I might want to fillet some of the edges. I can go around and individually select each edge, or I can just say I want to do all rounds, and I perhaps want those to be 0.25 of a millimetre. Again, you can see previews in Inventor of the actual size of the fillet we're going to get. We could zoom in there, check that out, make sure that's OK. If we're happy with that, just say OK. And that gives us our 3D model. They've also got some intelligence in there. The dimensions that we brought through have all been added automatically, so we can see when we lay our drawings down, we can bring through those dimensions. And when it comes to drawings, again, we can very simply produce new drawings. I'm just going to come up here and just say I want to start a new standard DWG drawing. This is standard AutoCAD format. Say OK to that. Then I can just drop views in of the component that I've just created. We'll have those 2 to 1. And we're just going to drop it down like so. We can now save our drawing, so we're just going to call that part 4 for now. And there we have the first view. We can create more views from this, so we can have a projected view, we can have an isometric view. Notice the ISO would be better in that angle. Doesn't matter where we lay the views down, we can pick them up, drag them wherever we want. We've also got control now over line weights, layer styles, etc. Exactly the same as you would have in AutoCAD. And these layer styles will come through automatically when we go back into another package. So for example, I'm going to change my visible lines perhaps into 0.18 there. Once we're happy with that, I'm just going to say done, and it's going to save that template for me automatically. All of the dimensions that we brought through or we put on the model from the standard AutoCAD drawing, we can bring those through into this drawing. Just select the dimensions that we want to place. So we'll have these dimensions here, here, and here, and say OK. Once we've got dimensions in, as you'd expect, you can then move these around, tidy up your drawing. They're going to snap to centres automatically, etc. So I'm just going to put those dimensions in a little bit there, like so. You can see I'll break lines for the text automatically as well. So there we have a drawing. We can bring through the other dimensions as well. Again, we can just say we want to retrieve those dimensions and just select any that are particularly poignant for this component. So we have it like so. Once we've done this, we can now save this. Again, I'm going to save it in my 2D drawing directory. and we'll just call this 3D Wishbone and save that away. Now we've got our drawing there created from standard 2D data from AutoCAD. Let's say it could be DXF file if you wanted. It can be back from any version of AutoCAD, back to DOS 12 if you want. Really doesn't matter. What I want to do now is perhaps take one of these views and place them back into my original 2D drawing, perhaps to pass to someone else, just have a look. I might have just wanted to create an isometric view of it very, very quickly and very, very easily. With that in mind, I can now close down the components in Inventor. So I'm now finished with those. I'm just going to switch to AutoCAD, and what I'm going to do is open up that original DWG drawing that we brought through. So I'm just going to navigate on my hard drive and just find the same drawing. So we can go to our data folder. It's in our car workspace. And then we have the 2D area. So there's my 3D wishbone that we just created. My original drawing is here. I'm going to open that up. Then I can just use my browser to navigate to my new drawing I've just created, which is my 3D wishbone. And all of the views that I created in Inventor are now going to be automatically transferred into blocks. So I can simply drag and drop my 3D view in position there. Perhaps do a slightly better job of actually positioning it. Or perhaps put it up in this corner here, like so. So there we have a 3D isometric view created from our 2D geometry that went through into Inventor, modelled up, and then placed into drawing views. This is going to be fully associative now, so if we go back and change our original model in Inventor, update the drawings, we can then just come in here, refresh the block, and you'll have your new view. So you can see very, very easy, very, very quick to take existing 2D data, bring it through to Inventor, make it into 3D model,